From the ashes, the ashes.
Alright, people of internet land, I don't usually find myself lost for words when trying to speak to people in front of me. It's only when you're recording things that you realise how you sound, how you look, and sometimes you might sound like a bit of a knob. So I wanted to start off by saying thank you to everyone who's been supporting us on Patreon. Thank you to everyone who's been out to see us at our shows recently, and especially to those of you who have recently been sharing our posts about needing a full-time drummer. Patreon members will have had early access to this video by about a week, so you're catching up about a week behind from where we are. But as far as updates are concerned, we've had several of the biggest gigs of our career, all banging one in after another. And things are going well, and we're planning to get into the studio. So to do that, I wanted to do something to upgrade my rig. And one thing that I think had been lacking in my tone, guitar-wise specifically, was delay and reverb. The amp that I use, the Blackstar Series 150 watt, which I'll cut to a shot of in a minute, doesn't have a built-in reverb because it's a pedal platform. It's designed to take lots and lots of pedals and have quite a bit of clean headroom, even though it's only a 50 watt amp. And so for things like Star Chaser, I've been using a Boss DD3 on the floor. I've still got that on my pedal board, but I did a thing. Allow me to introduce the KMA Machines, so the KMA Audio Machines Cirrus Spatial Temporal Modifier. Now, that all sounds good and it looks amazing. I love this graphic, but to give you the truth, that's exactly how we found it. So a couple of weeks ago, and you may have seen on our Instagram, I put up a picture of a box saying, "Oh, I've done a thing," with Matt from PMT Southend, who's an absolute legend. But when I was looking for these pedals, I couldn't decide what to do. I know I need to upgrade my drive at some point because I'm just using the amplifier's gain stages, and while that sounds good, it can be a little bit one-dimensional, but that's just how I have it all dialed in. I want something as a variant, which is fine. Pardon me. And so I was sitting there and I was scrolling through all of the different websites, and my wife Gems, who many of you have met when you've come to our recent shows, turned around to me and went, "They all look really boring." And I said, "Yeah, they're pedals." She went, "Why don't you get one that looks pretty?" And I'm sat there thinking, you don't buy a pedal for the look, you buy a pedal for the sound. And then she scrolled down, and it was a little bit out of my price range, but we pulled the trigger on it anyway, and we went for the KMA Cirrus, which, as you saw, is absolutely gorgeous. She went, "No, this one's pretty, go and try it." Or better yet, look up some YouTube videos about it and then try it. And oh my god, there's a wealth of videos about this pedal, and it's been going for a little while. KMA Machines are a very, very small company out of Berlin, but they're shipping out pedals like there's nobody's business. You scroll through their Instagram and you can just see entire tables full of these pedals that have been put together by hand. You know, there's very little factory work, you know, very little machine work involved. It's all the loving creations of KMA, and the vast majority of the videos were geared towards shoegaze or ambient music or post-rock. Another word for it is crescendo core. And yeah, And I went into PMT, sat down with Matt and Gems, and we had a little look, we had a little play, and holy crap. It made me start writing things in the practice booth at PMT. I haven't had a pedal that's done that in a long, long time. So now we're going to see how it sounds. So, I'm using the Fender Custom Shop Stratocaster that Archie and Catriona, my aunt and uncle in Scotland, sent down to me and Jem as a wedding present. We're going through the Blackstar 50. It's on the standard clean channel, so the bright clean, and this is the typical sound that you get from it. And just a couple of different pickup positions. Okay, and now we engage the Cirrus.
Engage.
So I've got the delay at noon. It's on the modulation setting at the moment. I'll show you my favourite setting in a minute. But the reverb is just over, and we're going delay into reverb first. And that reverb tail just keeps going and going and going. It's lovely. If I put it on there, I'll put the delay tail up a little bit. So that's with a modulation on both the reverb and the delay. There's a high pass and a low pass version on the reverb, which if I take the delay all the way out, we're in high pass mode, so you'll gradually feel the bass start to come in as I pick harder. And then there's a low pass mode. It's a bit warmer. It's a bit warmer in general. But the reverb itself is a lot darker and warmer with that setting. And then if I bring the delay back in, you've got a sample and hold function, which acts very much like the Boss DD3 that I've got for Star Chaser. And it just holds a single note a lot of the time. For some reason I really like that riff just in different places. And you've got the modulation, which you've already heard. So a big warbly sort of sound. And then my all-time favourite, you've got octaves. And this, that sparkle over the top. I'll turn the delay time down and the repeats up a little bit. It sends up a little bit so it doesn't kick in too quick. And then I'm just holding the engage button and that sound just keeps happening. And you can create big soundscapes by doing that. And then you can do the same with the reverb. Let's flick it to the neck pickup for a minute. You just hear that warble in the background. Ooh, that's a new function. I turned it off rather than just holding the engage pedal. But that's my all-time favourite sound at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly get up. I'm going to put it on the distortion channel. I'm going to turn the volume down because Logic is having a bit of trouble with it. So turn the channel volume right down. I'll go over to my Super Crunch. You can probably hear that hiss because I forgot to put enough power on my board for a noise gate. I love this pedal so much. I'll flick it over to the modulation and give you a sample of a new track that we're working on with this pedal. And that's your quick look into the Cirrus Spatial Temporal Modifier by KMA Audio Machines of Berlin.